In this episode, we talk about three political stories. We talk about the ongoing tussle between AAP and BJP in Delhi and why the slums of the city have become a key battleground for them. We also talk about the Election Commission declaring Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar-led faction as the real Nationalist Congress Party. But first, we talk about Akhilesh Yadav's new PDA formula. Hi, I am Niharika Nanda and you are listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. With parties gearing up for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, Samajwadi Party head Akhilesh Yadav has come up with a new formula that he claims would enable the BJP to lose in Uttar Pradesh. According to him, most of the backward people, Dalits and minorities would come together to back the PDA, Pichde, Dalit and Alpsankyak, and that no amount of effort by the NDA can stop the Samajwadi Party from coming to power.
एनडीए के मुकाबले मैंने कहा पीडीए और मैंने कहा पिछड़े दलित अल्पसंख्यक मुसलमान भाई, क्योंकि सबसे ज्यादा भेदभाव इनके साथ हो रहा है. मैंने किसी को एक्सक्लूड नहीं किया है, सबको शामिल करते हुए कहा और कहा कि 80 हराओ भाजपा हटाओ.
Now, while originally the Samajwadi Party's vote bank included Yadavs and Muslims of UP, through the formula of PDA, the party wants to tap into a larger audience. To find out more on how Akhilesh Yadav plans to use this formula and what the ruling BJP government thinks about it, we have Indian Express's Asad Rehman joining us today in this segment. Asad, can you begin by sharing with us what exactly is Akhilesh Yadav's PDA formula?
Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav in June last year brought out this new acronym by calling it PDA. PDA essentially stands for Pichde, Dalit and Alpsankyak, which roughly translates to the backward communities, which are Pichdas, the Dalit community, which is the scheduled caste community, and then the Alpsankyak, which is the minorities. So this formula was basically, this acronym or a formula you can call it, was brought by Akhilesh in June 2023. And it is in a way a counter to the BJP's NDA alliance. And Akhilesh Yadav has on multiple occasions said that it will be the PDA which will defeat the NDA. Now, essentially, it's a social engineering sort of formula for the elections that the Samajwadi Party is going after. They have named all their events, their yatras after this acronym PDA. So they are trying to reach out to these three major communities, which is the backward, the Dalits and the minorities. And in an attempt to reach out to these communities, the Akhilesh Yadav-led Samajwadi Party has made it their main pitch for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So they have made this as their pitch and are trying to get people and are trying to reach out to people from these communities, which constitute around 70 to 80% of UP's electorate. And recently Akhilesh Yadav also wrote a post on social media website X saying that the PDA, which is the backward Dalit and minorities, are with the Samajwadi Party for the Lok Sabha elections, and that because of their support and because of them being behind the Samajwadi Party in this election, the BJP and all their formulas have failed. These are all claims by Akhilesh Yadav in a post on social media website X.
Right. And how does Akhilesh Yadav think that this PDA formula is going to help the Samajwadi Party gain power in UP and in the Lok Sabha elections specifically?
So the Samajwadi Party, by going after the PDA and these communities, is trying to reach out to a major chunk of UP's population. Even though there's been no specific data on caste in Uttar Pradesh or in other states, approximately there are around 50% of UP's population belong to backward castes, which are the OBCs. Then 20% of UP's population belong to the minorities, Muslim minority community. Then the Dalits constitute around 15 to 20% of UP's population. These are all rough estimates. So by creating this formula, the Akhilesh Yadav-led Samajwadi Party is trying to expand its base beyond its conventional voters. Its conventional voters have been the Muslims and the Yadavs. And in the last few elections, the Samajwadi Party has failed to get a majority in UP because it's not being able to get any other community on board to rally behind it. And that is where the BJP is winning in the last few elections in UP. So by making a larger umbrella sort of acronym or this concept of PDA, Akhilesh Yadav is trying to get more people to vote for the Samajwadi Party in the Lok Sabha elections and reach out beyond their conventional voters, which is the Muslims plus Yadav's formula in UP.
And Asad, talking about the elections, what kind of changes have we witnessed in the voting patterns in UP in the last couple of elections?
So if you look at the last few elections, I think after 2012, UP has seen huge support for the BJP. They won a thumping majority in 2014 during the Modi wave, when the BJP first formed the government at the center. Then if you look at the next election in UP, that was in 2017 state election. Till then, there was a Samajwadi Party government here in UP. That was also won by the BJP. And for the first time, Yogi Adityanath became Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh in 2017. Then came the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. Again, the Samajwadi Party could only win 5 seats and the BJP won more than 60 seats out of the 80 seats in UP. Then the 2022 UP Legislative Assembly elections. Again, the Samajwadi Party could only win 111 seats out of the 403 seats in the state assembly, falling well short of the majority mark, and as a result, the BJP formed government in UP and Yogi Adityanath became the chief minister of the state for the second time. That was the most recent election. In terms of trends, if you see, this is the first time that UP has seen that people are voting, the state of UP is voting for one party election after election. Otherwise, generally the trend in UP is that it is oscillatory, that in at least the state elections, one party would form government once and then the other party. It used to oscillate between the Bahujan Samaj Party led by Mayawati and the Samajwadi Party, earlier led by Mulayam Singh Yadav and then led by Akhilesh Yadav. So now this change in trend that we've seen is that the BJP is getting wins in election after election, which is something that is new for Uttar Pradesh.
Right. And coming back to the SP, we have also seen Akhilesh Yadav has spoken a lot in the favor of caste census. Could you talk about how that works in his favor when it comes to gaining power in UP?
So Akhilesh Yadav has spoken on multiple occasions about a caste census. The reason for this is that the Samajwadi Party believes that there is a section of people who feel that their numbers might be higher in society and that they're not getting their share in society and in terms of resources. So the pitch for a caste census in UP is important because it reaches out to the backward communities, which constitute around 50% of UP's population, and then the Dalit communities. So the pitch for a caste census, it suggests that these communities and their numbers are much higher than the amount of reservation they're getting at this point. So a caste census pitch by the Samajwadi Party is something that is being part of their narrative for the last couple of years. And Akhilesh Yadav has on multiple occasions said that if his party forms government in UP or does well in the center, they will get a caste census done in Uttar Pradesh, which according to him will benefit the Dalit and the backward communities in Uttar Pradesh. And his repeated attempts to try to tell the people his allegations that the BJP is going after reservation is another part of reaching out to the Pichhda and Dalit, which constitute the two letters in the PDA acronym. So that's his caste census pitch. Then there is the reservation pitch, which is that the BJP is going after reservation and they're trying to end it. Again, both these things are linked and they in a way indirectly or directly target the BJP and target the Dalit and the backward communities in UP.
Right, so that is what the Samajwadi Party has in plan for the elections. But tell us, what does the Yogi Adityanath-led BJP government, which is in power at the moment, feel about this entire PDA formula of the Samajwadi Party, and how do they plan on winning again?
So the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh has on multiple occasions called the PDA acronym and this PDA concept brought by Akhilesh Yadav a mere gimmick. Their strategy in Uttar Pradesh is to not engage with the Samajwadi Party and to call them out on issues like the PDA issue. They target the Samajwadi Party on issues like corruption, family and the legacy politics, which is the dynastic politics, that too many members of the Yadav family are part of the Samajwadi Party, and that the only people who benefit from this are the Yadav family people. And BJP's prominent backward leader and Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya has on multiple occasions rubbished this PDA formula and this theory, saying that it is something that is his full form for the acronym PDA is Personal Development Authority, which will only benefit Akhilesh Yadav and his family. And then the BJP also is relying heavily on issues like their promises made and, their welfare benefit schemes and how they've reached the masses and things like that. So the BJP is going on a different pitch and is not really engaging with the PDA formula as such, and is trying to go out and do campaign in a much different way as compared to the Samajwadi Party's PDA pitch.
Right. And Asad, with the Lok Sabha elections just around the corner, we have to talk about the fact that the Samajwadi Party is after all a part of the opposition India alliance. So how do we see that affecting the party as far as them coming to power is concerned?
So the Samajwadi Party and the India Alliance, and the main component of the India Alliance in Uttar Pradesh is the Congress and the Samajwadi Party, and the third component is the Rashtriya Lok Dal. So seat sharing talks between the SP and the Congress have still not reached a final stage, and there have been multiple times there have been issues between the two parties. The most recent issue was that last week the Samajwadi Party released a list of 16 candidates, and then the Congress leaders started saying that some of the seats that the Samajwadi Party had announced were part of their plans, that they were hoping to get those seats from the Samajwadi Party. So there have been issues. The Samajwadi Party has already allocated 11 seats to the Congress, but the Congress is still claiming that seat sharing talks are still going on and that it hopes to get more seats, and things are not all good between the two parties. So there might be some more issues between the two parties in the next few months or the next few weeks. So it's something that is still not 100% solidified, but the alliance is still intact. So maybe in the future, in the next few weeks, we'll know what shape it takes in Uttar Pradesh, the India Alliance.
And next we talk about Delhi. The tussle between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP has been going on since 2013, when the former first came to power in the capital. Now with the Lok Sabha polls just around the corner, both of these parties are looking to hold on to a key section of voters, the people who live in the slums of Delhi. These voters account for a significant base, and their colonies have become a key battleground. What makes matters complex, however, is that the city has been witnessing a series of demolitions inside these colonies, leading to both the parties blaming each other for what has transpired. To understand the importance of the Delhi slums for these parties and the claims being made by them, Indian Express's Mallica Joshi joins us in this segment. Mallica, can you begin by sharing why the Delhi slums are such an important battleground for AAP and BJP?
So, there are estimates that say that around 50% of Delhi's population lives in slums and unauthorized colonies. These two have always been an important area for anyone that has been in government or in governance in Delhi, be it the AAP, the Congress, the BJP, anyone in the past. It is simply a matter of how much of your electorate lives in these areas. So you will see that, conversations around granting a property rights to those living in unauthorized colonies, getting facilities into slums like roads, sewage lines, water lines have always been part of the discourse. So it's not very surprising that the two are sparring over something like this.
Right. We are also aware of the fact that certain houses in these areas have been recently demolished. Do we know the reasons behind it? Like, what exactly happened?
So in a lot of areas across the city, and this is not limited to any one part of the city, extensive demolition drives have been underway for the past month or so, primarily to get rid of establishments of homes that have come up on government land. These are all, according to government records, encroachments. Now, some of these areas and some of the unauthorized colonies and slums, they have some protections in form of a stay from a court or in the form of some policies. But the authorities have said that all of the slums that they have, so authorities here could be the MCD, the PWD, could be the centers, could be railways, the DDA, a lot of agencies. All of them have said that these colonies that have been demolished enjoy no protection from any courts or under any scheme per se. And that's the reason why they have been demolished.
And at the moment, what are the claims that AAP and the BJP are making regarding these demolitions?
So while the Aam Aadmi Party has maintained that since it does not have ownership of land in the city, most of it lies with DDA, which comes under the centre. It is not responsible for any of the demolition that's taken place in these areas. And the questions regarding these should be asked of the centre and the BJP rather than of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Delhi government. The BJP, on the other hand, has blamed the Aam Aadmi Party government in the city of not allowing the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana to be implemented in spirit in the city. Under this scheme, the poor can get access to housing at nominal rates. So this sparring has been going on between the two parties for a while now. But the impact on the people has just gotten stronger now because demolitions number and the frequency has suddenly increased.
And Mallica, there was also a survey that was conducted in these areas called the Lok Niti survey. Talk to us about that and what it revealed.
So there are two Lok Niti surveys that give us, sort of an insight on what the people who live in slum clusters, how they vote. One of these surveys was conducted on the eve of the 2020 assembly elections. And it said that 61% of the poorest voters in Delhi voted for AAP. This seems like a big number. It was actually a drop from the 66% that voted for AAP in 2015. And it was in fact the BJP that made the gains. So in 2020, the BJP won 33% of the vote share, which is an increase of a 12% percentage points as compared to 2015. And the survey suggested that the highest gain may have come from JJ clusters and slums. And this is perhaps because of the Jahan Jhuggi Wahi Makan promise, which says that if a recognized slum cluster is demolished in the city, an in situ project will be, which basically means that the slum where it exists will be demolished and a housing project will come up in its place. So BJP has really, gone forward with this, and they have, like, the Kalkaji in situ development project was one of their flagship schemes, and which we now find is there on the ground. People are living in the houses provided over there. There is another interesting Lok Niti survey, which was in fact conducted in October last year, where the surveyors had asked the slum dwellers about their satisfaction with the central government and the AAP government in the city. This threw up some interesting numbers. It says that while around 52% of residents in slum clusters and unauthorized colonies were fully satisfied or somewhat satisfied with the Narendra Modi-led central government, for the AAP government in Delhi, this figure was around 62%. So the fight between the two parties on the issue of demolitions becomes very interesting, considering how voters have voted in the past and how they perceive the two governments.
Right. And talking about this perception, it comes from the kind of schemes that are being provided by these parties. So what benefits does the BJP say they are providing to the people living in these areas?
Yeah, for BJP, because they are not in government in the state, they have to rely on the centre schemes. And as I said, the biggest one of those would be Jahan Jhuggi Wahi Makan, their promise of in situ development in these areas. Apart from that, other central schemes which they have run into trouble with the Aam Aadmi Party government. So the Arogya scheme is not implemented in Delhi. Then, as I mentioned earlier, the PM Niwas Yojana, it's not functional in Delhi because there is a tussle between the centre and the state when it comes to the implementation of these schemes.
And Mallica, likewise, talking about the AAP, what are their claims about the schemes that they have provided?
So, it depends totally on whether you are a tenant or a homeowner. So, for example, if you are a homeowner, you would be getting the benefit of free electricity up to 200 units. You would also be getting the benefit of free water up to 20 kiloliters per month. Then what is independent of you being a tenant or a homeowner would be something like the free bus scheme for women. But if you are a tenant, the benefits of the free power scheme and the free water scheme don't always reach you because it is the landlord in the end in whose name the bills will come. So it depends on whether your landlord is passing those benefits on to you. That has also been one of the biggest criticisms of the scheme. And BJP has especially targeted the AAP on this point of tenants not being able to get benefit of the schemes that they have passed over the past 8 years.
And in the end, we give you a quick update about Maharashtra. Ending months of speculation over the faction fight with his party founder and uncle Sharad Pawar, the Election Commission on Tuesday declared Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar-led faction as the real Nationalist Congress Party. It also directed the Sharad Pawar camp to take up a new name for the upcoming Rajya Sabha elections from the state. In its order, EC also allotted the NCP symbol of the wall clock to the group led by Ajit Pawar. However, in a gesture to the faction led by Sharad Pawar, the EC offered them a one-time option to claim a new name for their political outfit and provide 3 options by Wednesday afternoon, considering the impending Rajya Sabha elections. Dealing with the blow to the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, an alliance originally of the Congress, the NCP and the Shiv Sena, Ajit Pawar in July last year claimed the support of all NCP MLAs and joined the Eknath Shinde-led BJP Sena government after being sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister for the 5th time. Ajit Pawar was the leader of the opposition in Maharashtra Assembly. After assuming the role of the Deputy CM, Ajit Pawar ousted his uncle Sharad Pawar from the position of the party president and subsequently wrote to the Election Commission to recognize his faction as the real NCP.
You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by Shashank, Bhargava and me, Niharika, Nanda. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it. Share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.